2021 is here offer, where we'll take up to $2,021 off your new heating and cooling system. With outstanding financing options and 24/7 service, ARS is your top choice for comfort. We'll even include a new UV light with installations to the first 20 callers to help with viruses, bacteria, allergens, and more. ARS Rescue Rooter, making it work, making it right. Call 919-865-7777 to schedule your appointment. Call ARS and Rescue Rooter.
This is me, and this was my stubborn body fat. My name's Adrienne, and Sonobello changed my life. Sonobello is America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit. After having 2 kids, my body, it changed a lot. I tried everything to lose the fat, but nothing seemed to work. Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, back, chin, and more. I've seen such dramatic results. My tummy is gone, my double chin is gone, and my hourglass shape is back. This was the mommy makeover that I deserved. Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-949-6044 or go to sonobello.com.
For the long hours, the countless smiles, you've had our backs. And for that, thank you.
CBS 17 News, first place in general news coverage. CBS 17 News, here with you through this time of crisis.
CBS.
One simple step can save lives from colon cancer. Get tested. It's that simple. Colon cancer is beatable in 90% of the cases when detected early. Colon cancer screening is down since the COVID-19 pandemic started, but it remains an urgent need if you're 45 or older. You have options, some of which can even be done from your home. The time is now. Visit standuptocancer.org/colon cancer to learn more.
For many years, all of us, black and white, young and old, men and women, Protestant, Catholic, and Jew, all of us have been trying to hold this house we call America together. We must build one house. We must build one family. As we face history, as we face ourselves, we've been there before when disaster strikes. Now, across the country, Team Rubicon is serving our neighbors impacted by COVID-19, delivering supplies, assisting food banks, checking on those most at risk. Help us continue to serve. Help us mobilize across the nation in the face of this crisis. Because that's what we're built for. Because that's what Americans do for their neighbors.
This is the CBS Overnight News.
Tonight, we are learning the extraordinary security at the U.S. Capitol will continue at least until next month. More than 7 weeks after the armed insurrection, there's concern that danger is far from over. CBS's Chris Van Cleve reports from the Capitol.
Tonight, what a lawmaker calls new and disturbing threats targeting Congress, nearly 2 months after the Capitol attack.
Members of the militia groups that were present on January 6th have stated their desires that they want to blow up the Capitol and kill as many members as possible with a direct nexus to the State of the Union.
President Biden's address to Congress has not been scheduled, but the elevated security posture around the Capitol will stay in place at least through the speech. Acting Chief of Capitol Police Yogananda Pittman acknowledged the department knew militia groups and other extremists were heading their way on January 6th.
These groups plan to be armed, The target of the demonstration would be Congress.
More than 10,000 descended on the Capitol grounds. Around 800 forced their way in. That includes 2 former Rocky Mount, Virginia police officers who pleaded not guilty today to charges they were in the Capitol. Pittman said undercover Capitol Police were sent to surveil the crowd at President Trump's rally that morning and intercepted demonstrators' radio communications. Officers guarding congressional leaders also had been issued assault rifles. Yet Pittman said her force was still unprepared for the onslaught.
No credible threat indicated that tens of thousands would attack the U.S. Capitol.
The intelligence missteps cascaded into inadequate preparation, which placed the health and lives of frontline officers at risk.
The acting chief said even if her command staff had gotten that FBI memo that warned some riders were coming ready for war, she says it was consistent with other intelligence they already had, so it would not have changed the Capitol Police plan for the 6th. Nora?
Chris Van Cleve, thank you. CBS News is investigating the troubling rise in anti-Asian attacks. Hate crimes against Asian Americans have skyrocketed since the start of the pandemic. We get more now on this from CBS's Jamie Lucas.
The owner at this butcher shop in Sacramento says she's frightened after security cameras captured a man tossing a dead cat in the parking lot.
Of course, there's really no doubt about it.
More than 3,000 hate incidents directed at Asian Americans nationwide have been reported since the beginning of the pandemic, according to one advocacy group. A 91-year-old Asian man in Oakland was thrown to the ground. In New York City, an Asian American woman was violently assaulted in broad daylight. And this violent attack on 84-year-old Vishal Ratanapakdi, a Thai American, who later died from his injuries.
With the China virus.
Some blame the rise of anti-Asian American discrimination on the former president's rhetoric.
Kung flu.
Watching this violence against Asian Americans is just so upsetting.
Tan to Win is part of a community organization that's working to raise awareness about anti-Asian hate crimes. There's also a Twitter campaign.
Whether it's speaking up, whether it's sharing, or whether it's lending a hand and reaching out to your Asian American friends.
The victims also include Air Force vet Denny Kim, assaulted last week in Los Angeles.
It's absolutely senseless, and it really breaks my heart.
This week, California's governor signed a bill into law that will devote nearly $1.5 million to tracking anti-Asian hate crimes. Lawmakers hope the information gathered will ultimately lead to solutions that will make communities safer. Nora?
Jamie Lucas, thank you so much. And tonight, the Biden administration is allowing some asylum seekers who've been waiting at a camp in Mexico to cross into the U.S. to have their asylum request processed. It comes as border crossings are the largest they've been in January in the past decade. CBS's Maria Villarreal went to the border to find out what is happening.
These are the faces of some of the first asylum seekers in South Texas. Dozens who were living in limbo in this Mexican border camp under what the Trump administration called the Migrant Protection Protocols. Now, one step closer to having their cases heard, some waiting years. The Trump administration's policy sent more than 70,000 people back to Mexico, creating a bottleneck of cases.
Now people in the camp are remaining in place because they're currently being registered.
Sam Bishop is a former Army veteran who says these migrants deserve a fair shot.
There's a lot of fear in the U.S. about migration. But these are not the people you need to be worried about. You know, if they're trying to do it the right way, they're trying to do it responsibly and in a manner that's consistent with our laws.
Illegal crossings are also on the rise, with 3,000 arrests on average per day in January on the southwest border.
You have two. Go, it's okay.
Some of the families we spoke with say they crossed the border with a smuggler. Coyotes are telling these families the border is open under this administration. Those illegal crossings further complicate the asylum process.
It seems very unfair to the people that are still in the encampment because they have waited to go through a very legal process and they've been there more than a year and a half now.
Is this a byproduct of just a system that has had a ton of band-aids but no true solution, no true fix?
That's true. And Mexico said that they would not accept families back with young children anymore.
Tonight, we've also learned that border crossings by unaccompanied minors, kids who come here alone and without their parents, is on the rise as well. And now the Biden administration is under fire from immigration advocates who are upset that they are opening up a facility just outside San Antonio, Texas, reopening that facility to house those children. Nora?
Maria Real, thank you. The CBS Overnight News will be right back.
If it's important to our nation,
The country is facing yet another unprecedented crisis.
it's on Face the Nation.
Were there COVID deniers in the White House?
Making politics make sense.
What do you think happened here?
The why behind the biggest stories. Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan on CBS.
Hi, I'm Caleb, and this is my story. I was born with osteogenesis imperfecta, or brittle bone disease. I have broken my bones almost 200 times, and I have had 11 surgeries. But I didn't let that stop me. I love to bike ride, climb, race, and I'm learning how to stand and walk. But I can only do all of this because of generous people like you and Shriners Hospitals for Children.
Because of people like you, Shriners Hospitals for Children has helped more than 1.3 million kids just like me, regardless of their family's ability to pay.
Shriners Hospitals for Children is only able to provide this world-class, life-changing medical care because of the generous gifts of people just like you.
Because of you, I can ride my bike. I can play basketball.
Because of people like you, I can run.
I can smile. Will you send your love to the rescue today?
When you go to loveshriners.org right now and give just 63 cents a day, you're helping kids just like me.
Like me. Like me.
When you give today, we'll send you this adorable Love to the Rescue blanket as a thank you, and a reminder of the love you gave to a kid just like me.
Your gift, no matter how small, can help a child today.
This is your moment to make a difference.
When you pick up your phone, show me have it right there, and call to give. You're helping kids like me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Please call or go online now. If operators are busy, please call again or give right away at loveshriners.org.
Your gift makes a difference. Thank you for giving.
Honey. New NyQuil Severe Honey is maximum strength cold and flu medicine with soothing, honey-delicious taste. NyQuil Honey, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine.
Hey, how you doing, baby? You look really fine, I figured I might come your way. Pull up on you with that golden ticket. Try to get out these doors.
Smell irresistible. New X. CBS News. Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan, Sunday on CBS.
Well, tonight, the White House says President Biden has spoken by phone with Saudi Arabia's King Salman. The call comes as the U.S. is set to release an intelligence report as soon as tomorrow that says Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman was responsible for approving the murder of columnist Jamal Khashoggi. The White House says it intends to recalibrate the U.S. relationship with the Saudis. We've got more now on our investigation into military families who are having trouble getting enough to eat during the pandemic. Nearly 40% have had trouble putting food on the table. CBS's Mark Strassman continues his reporting tonight, including the military's response.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Kay is on her way to a food bank again to feed her Army family of 6.
For us, it lasts a couple of days, maybe, just because there's so many of us in the house.
Her husband, an E5 sergeant, works at JBLM, Joint Base Lewis McChord near Tacoma, Washington. His take-home pay, roughly $3,000 a month. It's not enough.
I cannot feed my kids. You know, I cannot make this vehicle payment because I've had to feed my kids. It's just unacceptable, really.
Since the pandemic hit, one study reports nearly 40% of active duty service members have food insecurity. Is there a food bank on post?
There is not.
Do you track food insecurity at JBLM?
We don't track that.
At JBLM, Colonel Trey Rutherford's Chief of Staff for the 7th Infantry Division. The Army Emergency Relief Program offers struggling families help with budgeting and loans for food.
We challenge families to have the courage to trust in us, to trust in their leaders, to help them solve the challenges. And they need to feel comfortable saying, hey, family, I need some assistance.
But military culture prizes resilience. Asking for help can feel taboo.
So in kind of talking to other spouses, it was kind of like, no, that's kind of hush-hush.
In this pandemic, many military spouses lost jobs. JBLM has tracked 350 families, down from 2 incomes to 1.
They are challenged, they are squeezed, and we must get better, and we will get better.
Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland's district includes JBLM.
The people who are serving our country should not have to worry about food on the table.
But last December, Congress failed to approve a military family basic needs allowance. Kay has cut family meals to 2 a day.
It was hardest for the little one just because she doesn't understand, I'm hungry and I always eat when I'm hungry.
Serving their country, but struggling to serve their own family. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Atlanta.
And so many of you have reached out wanting to help. You can go to combatmilitaryhunger.org. There is still much more news ahead. Dramatic video shows the moment a gunman shot Lady Gaga's dog walker and then took off with 2 of her dogs. There's also some new details tonight on Tiger Woods, what he told investigators after that horrible crash.
The role of a journalist is to bring Americans a greater understanding. We have to make sure that we're right, that we're fair, but also hopefully bring Americans closer together.
Feeling sluggish or weighed down? It could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best. Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil sodium fiber gels to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. It also helps lower cholesterol and slows sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil. Support your daily digestive health. Take the Metamucil 2-week challenge and feel lighter and more energetic. Sign up today at metamucil.com.
Sarah, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Captain Ahab to help you find a parking spot?
Fire she blows. What? Loading zone starts. Pull hard to starboard.
Too small.
Seriously? Because it will. Follow him. Steady. Steady. Go. Thunderation to the northern lot where there be parking spaces as big as whales.
Geico. See all the ways you could save.
It's a familiar story. Allergies ruining your sleep and next day too. Taking Xylitol at night relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin, and on first dose provides the same relief as Zyrtec at nearly half the size. Be wise all. Take Xylitol at night.
Don't settle for products that give you a sort of white smile. Try new Crest Whitening Emulsions for 100% whiter teeth. Its highly active peroxide droplets swipe on in seconds.